What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of the Anti-Gravity Group podcast. My name is Braden Carlson.
My name is Taylor.
My name is Shane, or as you might know me, Postart.
My name is Matt, but you can call me Macho Matt.
and that's who I am. Sorry, I'm eating a pizza.
Don't worry, I got you. Yes, I added some soundboard elements that will be coming into play here. But yeah, hello everybody.
Hi guys, welcome to the Matt Show.
Today we're talking about about LDRS 42 and then LDRS in general. I just got back from Potter, New York, and it was quite an experience. But we're going to kind of dive into all of our favorite LDRS experiences, and Taylor has a lot to choose from. How many have you been to? Like 35?
10.
So close.
Over
Solid
22
guess.
years, though. So I took like a 10-year break.
Yeah. I really wish you had visited a few more, because this soundbite
13 is about 13.
Ooh.
would have been really useful
Yeah.
there.
It would have been solid.
But, anyway, yeah. Thanks for popping in. We're going to talk about LDRS, because I was at LDRS 42, and there was a lot of people that were there, like, posting on Facebook pictures of the muddy ground and stuff, and they were like, this is a bust. And everybody, like, now I guess has this impression that LDRS 42 sucked super hard. But I am convinced that there was more flights at LDRS 42 than there was all of LDRS 41 last year. Because when, like, the very moment the rain stopped, people were out there trudging through the mud, putting rockets on the pad, which is crazy. But it did dry out super fast. So day one, like, I showed up and it was, like, looking a little not great. And then it rained for a while and everything was super muddy. And it definitely rained more than it was forecast to. But as soon as it stopped and the sun came out, it dried up super fast. And there were still probably over 100 high-power flights that day. Day two was really rough. There was some flights for maybe the first hour or so, and then it absolutely poured, and then there was lightning and wind. So being out in the middle of a field in lightning's not, super comforting, but fortunately, as is, a staple of any good launch site, there's plenty of trees around to take the lightning if anything was going to make it to the ground. But yeah, it's a shout out to URRG. That's Upstate Research Rocketry Group, I believe. I don't know what else it could stand for. I kind of stumbled through that for no reason, but I second guessed myself halfway through. Anyway, the pacing was super good. Like, the pad setup was really nice, and everything was very smooth and fluent. So it was really good. And Saturday really was the only full day of flying. It was windy, like not very windy, but windy enough that everybody was like, no, I'm not flying in this. And I was like, what are you guys afraid of? And then I was like, oh, right, trees. I don't have that to worry about most of the time. And it was like super dense woods. But yeah, overall, pretty solid LDRS. It was a good time. There was a lot of flights. Is anybody upset that they weren't there?
I mean, little
Yes,
bit.
I'm upset.
Taylor's like, nope.
Matt is not upset.
I could be though.
He could be, but he's not. But he could be. I'm I'm not upset that I wasn't there, but also, for the
credit.
the social aspect,
Mhm.
possibly.
Yeah, it was a good time. Got to hang out with all the folks, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of cool people there. The raffle prizes were insane. Tim from Wildman gave away an 8-inch Wildman kit,
Yeah, I saw
which is
that.
crazy because they're like $1,400. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I mean, a bunch of vendors there, obviously, because LDRS. I got to meet Ken Allen from Performance Hobbies for the first time. That was pretty cool. Yeah, lots of really cool stuff. It was a good time. The video is out now, my full LDRS 42 video. And since I didn't fly anything, I actually got to film stuff. It's like an hour and 22 minutes long or something like that. So it's the first like
Whoa.
full length real launch video I've had here in a minute. It's available right now to Patreon supporters and channel members. So it's for like as little as $1. You can go watch it. Or after the NSL videos, it'll start rolling out. It's probably going to be 3 parts, maybe more or less. I haven't decided yet. But it will be available publicly for free here on Rocket Vlogs in completion by the end of July. I can say that pretty confidently. But yeah, it was a good time. So I'm happy I went. It was extremely expensive to go, as is predictable, but it's all good in the neighborhood. But that does bring us to our next point of discussion, which is going to be interesting because Taylor and I have been to a few LDRSs, and Matt and Shane have each been to one. So, but different ones, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor keeps
Both-
skipping LDRSs. I'm going to
Both
catch
good
up.
ones, though.
Yeah, they were really good ones. But yeah, just to touch on it here, I guess, if you haven't heard already, LDRS 43 next year is going to be at Tripoli Central, California, launch site just outside of Fresno. So we'll definitely be there because for me and Shane, that's like 3.5 hours. And I just flew the equivalent of what would be like 35 hours of driving to go to LDRS. So that's a pretty intuitive and easy one for me. Matt, are you coming?
I don't know. Maybe.
You got it, dude. It's gonna be a blast.
I'll be there.
Oh, he said it, folks.
Yeah.
But if I go, that means I can't go to NSL.
Oh my God, here we go.
Ooh.
Listen,
Why? Because they're too close together.
yeah, it's literally the next weekend.
Yeah, so just come stay at our house, work from home.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll get the trim robot out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trip.
You don't
Nice.
want to just burn a whole week, go back to back big rocket launch weekends.
I mean, it sounds fun from a wallet standpoint. It doesn't sound as fun.
Well, listen. Is your M685 video up yet?
No, because I've been moving.
Oh, here we go. Always with the
Jesus.
excuses. Dude, I'm telling you, if you posted videos regularly, the cost of travel would start to look way better. Because when you're making that $3 per video, it becomes real convincing to spend $1,000. You
That's
know?
what I hear. I
Yeah.
want the launch videos though, and that's not really my thing.
Well, people watch my other video. My most viewed video of the past 10 was my JB Weld video.
Yeah, but I don't know. The JB Weld video didn't get you the subscribers.
No, the Honest John video did.
Oh well, I'm talking to the people that watch the videos.
What was it? The fails videos?
Oh. I mean, realistically, yes. It was the launch videos in general. The launch
Yeah.
videos are attractive to like actual already existent
Yeah.
rocket people. And then I don't know though, but like the build videos routinely get similar amounts. Of
I know. I'm
views,
just
so-
saying. I think the launch videos got the ball rolling pretty good.
I don't know. It just kind of seems like you're making excuses. If I'm honest,
I'm not. I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it.
I hate to be
You just-
that guy, but
I'm just
You
saying
just-
I may not get $3 a video.
Not
You
yet.
can still get 2.
yeah, you.
You just gotta find your formula, Taylor. You gotta find your formula and make it addictive. You
No,
know.
the formula is to actually make videos, Matt.
That's true. Yeah, I just pump. But you can
It's
just pump shit
that's a
out.
pretty
Or
good start.
Pump us out.
You
It
should shoot
is.
for one
Matt.
more than one a month. A baker's dozen. How many is that?
13 is about 13.
Right. Thanks, Matt.
Do I even need to be here? You
All right,
got
well-
this. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the Matt Show.
Welcome.
It really is the Matt Show.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It is.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Taylor since he's the LDRS king of the anti-gravity group at the moment. Let us have it. What's the best L doctors?
My best L Doctors was I think LDRS 26 in Gene Dry Lake Bed in 2007. It's a hard choice though because there's been a lot of bangers.
That one was crazy though. The
Yeah,
Gates Brothers
to-
Rockets, the giant Gemini DC, the
also-
giant Thor.
Yeah, and it was like hosted by
Rock.
was it? Yeah, at Gene though. So it was like the best of
so
both.
it wasn't Tripoli Vegas hosting. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Rocketry organization.
And so it was
California.
just like it was so well run. Do you remember Launch magazine? Do you remember that Rocket magazine?
Yeah. Well, actually, I should correct that. I think it was Tripoli Vegas and Rock together. But I've had past experiences where members of Tripoli Vegas get really mad at me for saying something that's slightly inaccurate
I
or
talked to
could be misinterpreted.
When I was RSOing at Bonneville, I was talking to a guy while I was RSOing about that launch. Somehow it came up, and I was like, "Yeah," and he said he was. Oh, I don't quite remember how that went, but anyway, I was like, "Yeah, wasn't that hosted by Rock and Tripoli Vegas?" And he's like, "We did everything." And he was,
Is he from Rock?
yeah, I don't know if that's true. I mean, I don't want to throw shade at anybody, but
Is
he said
that
we just
the
used their
launch
launch
that
site.
Wedge Oldham was driving to, and he like rolled his trailer full
Yeah.
of all the launch pads?
Yeah,
That's hectic.
and the same, also the launch where Tim's trailer burnt down on the way there,
Oh yeah, man, that was
Oh.
a crazy one.
and so Tim still showed up, and he was just really sad sitting in a chair, and he had some motors that Gary brought him to sell to raise money.
Yeah, that's wild, dude.
And
Wild man, even.
but that was the first one that was like the first launch where I got to go out west to a dry lake bed and and it was just like crazy big flight after big flight, and all of the like big name people that I grew up like, to me they were like celebrities, but there's rocket people, but all the West Coast people that I hadn't seen in person before, and ton of big vendors. It's back when we had Just
Andy
Rockets,
Werner.
What's Up Hobbies, BSD,
Wild
Mojave,
man, sort of.
yeah. Mojave, what was it? Mojave Desert Eye Power or something.
Was Rocket Silo there?
That would have been like, I think Rocket Silo was no longer at that point.
That wasn't Predo Gates era Rocket Silo?
It ended by that point.
Oh, I see. Well,
Discount Rocketry.
oh yeah, dude.
Shout
Anyway,
out.
Ruby, right? From Discount Rocketry, Shane?
Believe so.
Yeah. They're super cool, dude. They go to like the dart launches in San Diego where they have 1,000-foot limit and they only fly G motors and under. They're just out there every launch. Trailer full of goodies.
That was also a good launch because AMW was in full swing still. We had Mojave Green demo motors were just coming out, and the 75 and 98 millimeter moon burners from Aerotech.
There was a pink and yellow V2, a large one. I swear to God, I had never seen before.
Dude,
in my
I keep
life.
seeing it. I keep seeing it in like
Sure.
every picture now. I was looking at
Dude,
Gates
I
Brothers
know, me
pictures the other
too.
day. He's like in the background of every picture.
Yeah, I could. YouTube
I'm like now
keeps
I
feeding
see
me,
why
like,
it's so. Now I see why David brings it up all the time. Like the thing was literally
Yeah.
everywhere.
Brad Overmo is his name. Yeah, it's like the exact same paint job. And I was like, maybe I subliminally like saw that when I was little, because the paint job on my V2 was because of David Chance's rocket, which was like, he called it Buttercup. It was the same Honest John that I have, the big one, but it was like pink and yellow and had flowers and peace signs on it. I was like, that's kind of funny to paint a weapon of war like exuberantly, so that's what I went with.
It's
But I
just
still wanted
funny.
to keep the V2 pattern.
It's funny that the colors are exactly the same.
It's like, dude, yeah, it's not even like
To,
a different shade of yellow or
yeah.
pink. It's the same.
Yeah, it's like
And
the
I was like,
same
I feel like
magenta pink.
there's got to be like some, because I used to have some high power magazines when I was like really young. Like I think at probably like 8 or 9 is when I first started getting into them. I feel like I had to have seen it before, and I was like, yeah, bright, fun colored V2. You know what would be perfect? Pink and yellow. That had to be in the subconscious somewhere.
Oh, I never finished what I was saying before. So Launch Magazine, you remember that?
Yes.
It wasn't around very long, but at LDRS 26, there was a giant air conditioned tent.
Oh, that's right.
That was the Launch Magazine tent, and you went in there and they had water and magazines, and it was just like a big AC tent. And so there was like the gnarliest dust storms that would roll through, and everyone's going in the tent.
That's so sick, though.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And they were selling merch in there, and I got these, like, they were so cool. It was LDRS 26 playing cards, and so until I graduated high school, like I always had those, and we would play cards in school. But they had pictures of rockets on each card, and the logo for that launch was sick because it was like, Vegas
themed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good. Oh, Vern flew Starfire there too on M2200.
Yeah.
I just bought that very motor case.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So we get to pump one more M2200 through it. Possibly. We'll see how.
Yeah.
We'll dive into that on another episode, but yeah. That'll be pretty cool. Yeah, that was that was kind of like the launch that made me like, oh, I have to go to Tripoli Vegas sometime. Because obviously being 10 years old and just scrolling through Vern's website every day landed me a bunch of launch sites that I felt I needed to go to. One was in Canada, and then, if we were doing an episode on worst LDRSs, I think Taylor might pitch that one. But he was there.
I was there, yeah. Honorable mentions would be...
Wait, don't say either of the ones that Matt or Shane was at. We gotta get their experience on why they were good.
The first one I went to, LDRS 22 in Argonia. That was just like, you had the Gila Monster, the Beast, the Tim's Big Hawk Mountain upscale.
Yeah, Al's Hobby Shop. Pre-Wildman.
Yeah. And Aurora.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I love that video of when they were building that thing where they like wrapped the carbon fiber and then threw it in the pool so all the cardboard would dissolve.
Yeah, the porta potty, of course. Just, yeah, well, I guess everything that's in the TV show, I got to see it.
Yeah, it must have been cool. Meanwhile, I was getting yelled at for watching that show because it said TVMA in the corner, and my mom was like, nope, you can't watch that. And it's because of Tim going, oh, F me, when that big parachute didn't come out.
The best thing is when that big parachute opens.
When that big parachute opens and just everybody's so happy. Dude,
that's what makes
they
it
really did Clifton dirty with the clip of them like not knowing which side the shoe should go in. That is a classic. We should watch that on the live stream after this podcast.
Yeah,
I really want to just pull the clip of Tim throwing the water bottle. So we get into F me.
But he likes us, so maybe we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I know, but it's really funny.
He's like, yeah, that's really hilarious.
I think he might think it's funny.
That's true. He really had a good redemption arc at 29, though, because when they built the big Dark Star, him and Crazy Jim got a lot of screen time. They really painted him in a good light. Not that I'm saying they shouldn't have been, but they were really selling the Wild Man shop.
You remember when he was driving the van to go get the beast? He's like, this just means I have to do it again.
Yeah.
Smoking.
Yeah,
a
that's
cigarette.
hashtag relatable.
And LDRS 25 in Amarillo was pretty awesome.
That's why we were really crossing our fingers for LDRS 43 being in Tripoli, North Texas. But
That's what I was.
TCC is rad, so I'm definitely stoked for it.
I totally forgot that they already hosted an LDRS.
TCC?
Yeah.
I didn't know that they had.
It was in the period where I wasn't like caring a lot, except for going to Airfest once a year.
Which LDRS was it?
See, I couldn't even tell you. 35? Something
Okay,
like that.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
kind of
know.
in my Rocketry dead zone too.
20
that was my
20
car era.
I want to say 2015-ish. I don't know.
Matt, do you know?
It's like
13 is about-
2023.
It's about 13.
About 13.
Oh.
Yeah, about 2013. Yeah.
It's LDRS about 13. All right, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to kick it to you now, Matt, because the folks
All
want to hear
right.
from you.
Yeah, they do.
What's your favorite LDRS?
I think LDRS 4 was pretty good, but I should have said LDRS 13, right?
Matt's
Matt's
really
actually
OG.
Jerry Irvine's son.
Yeah, I was
Not a lot
in
of
it.
people know that.
I was in it for a second, but then I just popped way out and then thought I'd try a new. No, I would say LDS 38 is probably my favorite one I've been to. That one I remember.
he got the number right.
I know,
He
I'm
did.
impressed.
I thought he was gonna blow it.
Yeah, I was thinking I might, but after we were talking about it a bit, I was like, oh, I think that's it. I think the one rocket that I remember the most was the Marvin the Martian rocket that ended up just kind of going.
Oh, yeah. That was
Um,
cool. Big 6-inch O motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of was, not to cut you off here, Matt, but I
No,
was
you're good.
thinking about like how we're like, oh yeah, nobody flies huge projects at LDRS anymore, but LDRS 38 kind of had it going on. There
Yeah.
was the 2-stage 12-inch Dark Star. There was that big giant Marvin the Martian O motor.
Yeah.
Wasn't that kind of?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of it.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
mean,
it was
besides
certain-
the usual Argonia shenanigans of like 100 M motors.
yeah.
just N after N after N.
Yeah. What else? What else?
What would you like about it, Matt?
Was
That
that
is
your
the
first
one I
you met
Argonia
me?
launch?
Oh yeah, duh. What would you say, Taylor?
Was that your first time in Argonia?
No, that wasn't the first time I ever gone yet. I'm pretty sure we did a cloud
Oh.
burst.
But that was your first big launch.
Yes. Yeah. That was my
Yeah.
first big launch because my
So
first
he had
ever.
never been to Airfest or anything.
Yeah. My first big high power launch was Pahuska High Frontier
Yeah.
in
Well, it
2018, I think.
That was not big.
Oh,
but it
yeah,
was a
yeah.
launch.
Sorry, first high power launch, and then but yeah, one of my favorite things is that I met Braden there. That was, and we were catching up about roller coasters, and we were all like, "Whoa, this is really crazy that we have interest in cars and roller coasters and rockets." And
Dude, I think I was wearing my Magic Mountain shirt, and Matt
Yeah.
said something. He was like, was it like, I don't remember. I think you said Vacoma. No, it was definitely aerodynamics.
yeah,
He's
And
like,
Taylor's like, he's not going to know what that is. I was like, oh, like H, I don't. I grew up 4 hours away from aerodynamics, and we just started going for it.
you wore that
Yeah.
shirt the other day. It's like I forget what it says, but it looks super generic. So I just assumed
Yeah.
it was a thrift store shirt.
Yeah, the
That's
bigger is
crazy.
always better. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't a thrift store shirt. It was the shirt I bought after I was too fat to ride Twisted Colossus and got kicked off.
Well, you
Bigger
buy-
is always better. Yeah, like an
But you
hour
weren't-
later.
But you weren't thinking about it as a fat person.
No, because bigger was definitely not better.
Dude,
Because
that-
now that I weigh 80 pounds less, I rode it, and it was way cooler to ride the roller coaster than it was to, like, cry my way down the exit because I was too fat to ride
Aw,
it.
man.
Dude, the irony of immediately going to get the shirt that says bigger is always better.
I got to ride Goliath in X2, and that made me feel a lot better. I just kind of immediately trauma blocked that from my mind.
Oh man,
Matt, when we went this year to Magic Mountain, that's the first time Braden had tried to ride Twisted Colossus since the incident. And we were all super nervous.
Oh,
and then
man.
Yeah, dude. They did me so dirty.
You know how on RMCs they have the light if the restraints aren't down far enough, the light won't go off or whatever. And so all of a sudden they're like, car whatever row 17,
or C17.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're like, recheck. And it was Braden's seat, and
so the lady came by and pushed the restraint down, and there was like a ton of space. And I was like, that seems like not right, but I was like, okay, I'll take the airtime. It's probably good if she put it there. And then he's like, seat 17, 26 or whatever, and I was like 246. S, and then I was like, no, don't do this. And she pushed it down, and he's just like 17 clear. And I was like, why'd you do that to me? You don't understand the emotional trauma that just came out of this.
And they were toward the front of the train, and me and Sam were in the back, and so we just see this happening, but we can't really hear what's going on. We're like, oh, they got to recheck. Like, is it? No, it's not Braden. We're like, oh no.
Oh man,
freaking out because it's like, oh no, he's not gonna come back after this.
I'm already off to a rough start for like tight coaster constraints being 6'3" and mostly leg. So you add in some thickness to that, and you got a disaster.
Yeah.
You remember when we went to MDRA, Taylor? Just keep it sort of rocket related. One day it rained, so we went to
King's Dominion? My bad.
This is a rocket podcast. Yeah, we went to King's Dominion. We rode Twisted Timbers, and like the whole time I was sitting there, I was like, but what if somehow I don't fit in it still, even though I literally weighed like a almost teenager off of what I did before, and it just restraints were fine. And I was like, oh right, yeah, being less fat did actually make a huge difference. That's wild.
And you fit on Intimidator 305.
I did, yeah.
Man, that ride's crazy.
That's a certified fat people don't fit coaster.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that, though. I was just like, yeah, here we go. All right, well, anyway, should we talk about rockets some more?
I mean, it is the LDRS Gravity Group podcast.
Yeah, that is true.
We gotta dive into it a little bit.
Yeah.
I did meet a couple of Thuzies at LDRS.
Yeah, you
some
did.
crossover people out there.
You mean
no, not that LDRS. This one, 42. Yeah, New York.
That's awesome.
And he said that he'd never been on a Gravity Group coaster. And I was like, well, you're missing out, my man. Shout out to the Gravity Group for not suing us yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Matt.
Honestly,
I was trying to think of what other big memorable things from LDRS 38 happened. I remember your BMW, but that's not rocket related. The one that you rented.
No, that was. We could go off on another 25-minute tangent about that thing if we wanted to.
Braden ran.
Yeah. Was this the launch that somebody built?
Long story short, it was broken when I got it, and they tried to blame it on me, and then they charged me a ton of money on my credit card. But then Turo did their own investigation and gave me a full refund. They even refunded the rental cost, which was sick.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Matt, this might have been your first launch
Level
with
2?
The Mystic Buzz. What's it called? The Screaming Eagle.
Yeah, Screaming Eagle. Yeah, that'd probably be it. Because I think you were testing your turbo lag rocket.
Oh, is the shot cord good one?
Yeah. I didn't well, it was I called it anti-lag. Like Matt was called the turbo lag.
It kind of makes sense for an M685 though, because it kind of crawls a little bit.
Well, that one was M1850.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that would be cool to have turbo lag and anti-lag.
like 2 hours after you met me. You're just like, you think this shock cord's too thin? And I was like, no, it's like
Yeah.
800-pound brake strength. This should be good.
I
You
was
wanna
like,
hear
yeah,
that
you're
full
right.
story?
You're right.
Yeah. You
well,
can check out the fails episode of the podcast. That's we went in depth on all of our failures, and that was Taylor's big kahuna.
that was the one that had the boat tail, right?
Tail cone
Aft closure. Yeah, tail cone closure. Yeah.
It was nice.
Oh,
I got one
and I think
flight
that
out
came
of
from
it.
that too. Yeah.
It was actually, yeah. It was.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was from Airfest the next year.
Oh,
When we had to pump an entire D24 through your K185 to get it to light. I found that video earlier unlisted on my YouTube channel, so we should watch that during the live stream too.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
That's a classic. Well,
yeah, that's probably it from me.
LDRS 38
Do
from
you think
Matt
you'll
here.
ever go to another LDRS, Matt?
Yeah, I think at some point. When I
Dude, come to 43.
Yeah.
that's in California.
We can all meet at my house like we do with Taylor's, and then we can roll out. We can rent a professional masterpiece.
We can go mountain biking.
That would be rad.
That's true. I live like 45 minutes from Big Bear.
Nice. That is in May
There's
next
a
year.
bike.
Well, I
There's a
guess
bike
it's-
park called Santa's Lodge or something.
Little
like
helper.
Sleigh?
Little Hilbert.
Santa Land.
That would be fun.
I don't remember what it's called. Santa something.
There's no way it's Santa Land. That's
Santa's
crazy.
Sleighing.
Santa's land is the
I'll look
North
it up
Pole.
now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You dumb A.
yeah, Taylor. Really peeing me
All right.
off.
Well,
by
while
saying
we're
that.
waiting on Taylor to figure out the name of that BMX, or I guess
it's
mountain
a
biking.
downhill
BMX.
mountain bike.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Anyway.
BMXing. We should BMX sometime, Taylor.
Do we? No.
Dude, can
You
we
can get some
can we
pegs.
berate the term BMX for a second here on this Rocketry podcast? Bicycle motocross is what that stands for.
That's fun.
I hate that so much.
Does
There's no
it
motors.
actually?
Yes, that's what BMX stands for.
Motocross.
Well, okay. Either way, motorcycle.
That's why it's
No.
called bicycle motocross.
Yeah, that's why it's stupid. Anyway, Postart, you're up. What's your favorite LDRS?
Well, I've only
think-
been to one. I don't remember the number. I think it was because I know they did something funky with it because it was the year after COVID where they didn't have an LDRS. Was it 40?
It was the year before. It was LDRS 39 at Bonneville.
It was
It was
2021.
supposed to be the year before.
Yeah. But that's why it was 39, not 40.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or
I
no,
couldn't
that's
remember
why
which one it was.
2021 wasn't LDRS 40. That's what I mean.
Oh.
Sky Park
Anyways.
at Santa's Village. That's what it's called.
Mm.
Oh, I know where that is actually.
It's pretty close to you.
Not explicitly.
Sky Park. That sounds fun.
Kinda. Anyway, Postart, go off.
But anyways, LDRS at the Salt Flats. The only one I've been to, but it's pretty solid.
Said this
It's
was
a
an
good
hour.
time.
All right, go on. Yeah, it's an hour
Yeah.
and 3 minutes.
Um,
I thought it
I
was
know
more
the people
towards,
were wondering.
Yeah. I thought it was more near that other mountain.
Everyone,
You know the one.
everyone
No,
listening
it's,
is
it's
wondering
near Big Bear.
where is
Right.
Santa's Village in relation to
Dude,
Braden's
this
house.
episode is so off the
this
rails.
is
It is.
chaos.
Yeah. So it's a good time, Postart.
So anyway, but yeah, and it's we're like an hour away from Magic Mountain as well. Anyway, go on.
Dang. Sorry.
But that was, I mean, the only big launch that I'd been to prior to that was NXRS. So that was my first introduction to a big launch, I suppose.
Yep, Postart
And-
really was not ready for how big
Yeah.
LDRS
That
is.
was-
'Cause
Yeah, I was
NXRS,
not.
Shout out Oregon Rocketry is actually a quite big event, but LDRS is its own thing.
That was
Yeah.
the first time I met Shane was at Bonneville.
It was, yeah.
Before
Bonneville.
you were Postart. You were just Shane.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
He was just Shane back in those days.
Just
I
pulling
was.
cans of mixed vegetables out of his backpack.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's before
I-
Match was Match too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a
But
pasta.
you were always Jesse.
Okay.
No, I mean that was when Postart and I were saying TECH at the end of everything. And you were like,
Yeah.
"Hi, I'm Match," and we were like, "Well, that one's sticking." Good.
I
So,
remember
yeah, we got Match, Postart, Jesse, and Rocket, the anti-gravity group.
Yep.
I remember LDRS at Bonneville. When I met Shane, I was like, I don't think this guy actually likes rockets. That's what I thought.
Dude, he drove his drift car there.
I
too.
know.
That's probably the most
Wow.
chaotic.
That's awesome.
I did,
I'm-
yeah.
Just the lowered E46
Yeah.
with a slipping clutch.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
With a really, really slipping clutch.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Thing was
Made it
done
there and
for.
back.
Wow.
And
I
then we
did.
all went to Mexican food, and Shane stayed at the hotel and ordered pizza.
Yeah.
I did. It's
I
good
didn't quite
pizza.
understand yet.
To be fair, yeah, you weren't ready for the Postart memes yet. You were like, "Wait, he's not coming. He's just gonna have pizza by himself." And I was like, "Yeah, no, don't worry about it. That's perfectly up his
Yeah.
alley."
And I
It was
like
normal.
finished everybody's plate.
My whole family came.
Yeah.
So you finished my little brother and
Yeah.
little sister's food.
they're like, are you still hungry? I'm like, yeah, I'll eat it. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah, I am. Give me that ass. Am I right?
Thanks, Braden's family.
My
Hope you didn't
God.
want leftovers.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. That was such a weird Mexican restaurant too. It was like in a trailer kind of.
Yeah.
Or like a double wide Nashua house just in Wendover, Utah.
Wow.
So
I
sad
feel like-
that we can't go to Bonneville again to fly rockets.
I know.
I think Matt
Maybe
would have really
someday.
vibed out there.
Dude,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
vibed out there.
Well,
I said
know
this
did
in the
too.
last episode, I think, but everybody just go watch the intro to my LDRS 39 video. It looks like a green screen. It's like dead silent, and it just looks too good to be real. But I promise you, it was real. That place is crazy. It'll
Yeah.
burn your eyes up real good,
Yeah.
right, Taylor?
Oh yeah.
Driving blind so we could go ride roller coasters in Utah. Speaking of which, you guys like roller coasters? Maybe we should allocate some time of this podcast to roller coasters.
Dude, yeah. I could really speak to that.
Oh yeah, that
Probably.
reminds me. We gotta so we have like an hour on our podcast plan that we're not using every month. And I put this out to the Patreon folks to see if they'd be down with an extra episode like once a month just to fill the time. So I think we should add a monthly Q&A. So we do a 5th episode. So if you guys are down with that, we can
So
figure out a
so
time
we don't
to do
do
so.
Q&A. We don't do mailbag anymore.
So
Well, we do,
yeah, I was gonna say, what
still
if we
do the
just moved the
mailbag.
entirety? What if we took the mailbag and moved it to that?
Well, but the mailbag's always pertinent to the topic of discussion for the
Mhm.
episode.
So this is just
So you'd
generic
make
questions.
a mailbag specifically for questions. Yeah. And we can
Yeah,
just like catch
yeah.
up on rocket stuff we're working on. I know Matt and Postart have a lot of rocket building that they haven't told us about yet.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have to get us all caught up
True.
on
Yeah,
all the,
we
the
do,
cool
yeah.
projects they've been working on. So I guess that means it's my turn.
Do it.
But in case anybody forgot,
My name is Matt, we call me Macho Matt.
Have you gotten
I
any
use the
complaints from all the
AI.
sound bikes yet?
no, just that one guy blaming Postart for it, which is so funny. There's only one way it could have been better. There's someone complaining about the soundboard, and it would be for somebody else to get blamed, and that's it worked out perfect for me.
He does have producer energy, though,
terrible.
to be fair.
Yeah.
It's probably because he's just sitting there most of the time, They're
But he's
like, no
always
way
there.
this guy's got time
Yeah.
to just be.
He shows up
pushing
every
these
time and is just there
You
for it.
I mean, you guys are in the same house. Like maybe you have some remote control that pushes buttons on Braden's thing. You know, it could be done.
Honestly,
That's
dude,
true.
give me
We do have
control of the
a quite
soundboard.
extensive. Yeah, we have a huge amount of audio gear in a full podcast studio, as you guys can see.
Yep.
Anyway, I guess that means it's my turn, and my favorite LDRS.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Wow.
It's really.
He's just saying that
I
because
think-
we took all the good ones.
I think
Yeah.
I think I have to go with LDRS 39.
Yeah, that's the only
Because-
real answer.
I mean, LDRS 38 was the birth of the anti-gravity group, yes, but LDRS 39 was the birth of the 12-inch Punisher. Like, that is the time where we were like, this is actually gonna happen. Because we had joked about it beforehand, and we were talking about Gates Brothers stuff, and then that's when Bryce was like, "Oh, you guys are ready to see the Gates Brothers trailer at a launch again?" So we were like, "What does he have? Does he have the rockets? Does he have all of this?" And we were like, "What if we built a 12-inch Punisher? It's like the same size as Porthos. It'd be sick. We could have our own Porthos." And then we saw the actual Porthos fly, and we were like, "Yeah." Dude,
And just
we'll
seeing-
definitely do that. I'm
and
sure
just-
it's thousands of dollars.
And just seeing and / touching the Gates Brothers rockets up close.
Yeah, it was
Really?
like a 13-year-old Braden and Taylor dream come true.
I got there and he's like, let's go look at the Gates Brothers rockets. Even though you already
Don't
did the
say
day
it like
before.
mockingly, like you weren't about to say the
Yeah,
same thing.
and then
if
we
I
held
didn't.
hands and frolicked off to Bryce's trailer.
It was awesome. We were skipping down the flight line. People were throwing AMRAMs at us. Were you there for that, Taylor?
No, that was
Or was that just me?
Yeah, it was you.
I was there.
Oh yeah, it was like a 5.5-inch AMRAM with no chute, but it was a
Yeah.
lock one or something. So it was doing the light
Ah.
rocket tumble, but it had like the Venturi effect going. So it was, as it was spinning, it was just moving horizontally at us.
Oh, nice.
And I don't remember. I don't think it was Bryce. We were sitting there talking. Somebody was like, "Oh, look out!" And I turn around. There's just an 8-foot-long AMRAM whirling at us.
No heads
Wow.
up for that.
No, I was
Yeah.
just like, hey. But yeah, I mean, there was another big, I think, a O or P motor flight at that launch, but just like, it was like really, because I had been to Argonia before, and LDRS 38 was awesome, but like, being at Bonneville was something I'd wanted to do since I was super young. Seeing the Gates Brothers rockets fly was something that I'd wanted to do since I was super young, and it was just, it all like accumulated into the perfect LDRS experience. So it was a really good one.
That's awesome.
All right, let's throw out our worst LDRSs real quick, Taylor.
Didn't we do? We did worst launches.
Yeah,
On
we
sites.
don't really need to dive down that. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt any feelings, but
All heard on. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's representative today, but I'll say if Tripoli, Alberta, or whatever it was from 20 years ago, if you guys are still,
see, that's when
if you're still launching
yours is
from
far enough in the
Yeah.
past that it's like fine.
Yeah, I guess you shouldn't do like last year.
Yeah, that would be
For
crazy
example.
to say that last year was the bad one.
But yeah, they were launching. Their launch system was run through a 2004 laptop. So
Which is sick that you couldn't see the screen because they were
so
outside in
they
the
had to do
sun.
They had to like tape a cardboard box around the computer screen so they could see, and then wait.
And didn't Tim get in trouble for launching rockets too fast?
Yeah, because they were. He had to go up and take over because he was getting mad because they would wait for each rocket to touch the ground before they flew another one,
Yeah.
even if it
Were
was
they
like
doing
an
a 10
Estes
second
rocket.
countdown?
Probably for the big stuff, and by big
Oh,
I mean like
okay.
a K550.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, I can't remember. We were watching some Earl Cagle video on the Rockets Magazine channel the other day, or I was, and they gave something a 30 count. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, oh my God. All right, well, I'm going to move on to the mailbag then. The prompt was if you were at LDRS 42, tell us what you thought, and whether or not you attended 42, tell us your favorite LDRS experience. And if you'd never been to an LDRS, tell us what one you thought looked fun from an outside perspective. Which, now that I think about it, is kind of a dumb thing. Like, oh, you haven't gone? Well, tell us which one you looks like you might have had a good time.
I
Since you
mean, I
couldn't
think it's
go,
a fair
you know?
question. Because that period
I would have loved for somebody to ask me that when I was like 15.
all the ones I
Of
didn't
course, I
go,
would have liked to go to.
of the ones I
Um,
didn't go to, most of the places didn't look like they were super fun. Except probably TCC looked fun.
I would have liked to go to, was it 32 that was at Black Rock?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's probably pretty good.
All right. Chris, the Rocketry nerd, shout out the Stingray guy, says, yes, it was a great time. Sure, the weather threw a curveball, but when you're involved in outdoor activities, you have to plan for that. It sure didn't wreck the weekend by any metric. I brought several rocks, but only ended up flying 2 of them. One, an old favorite, which was recovered the next day, and another that had its maiden flight and was recovered on a windy Saturday over 5,800 feet away. Oh, yeah. There was like a bunch of Amish kids just like finding people's rockets. The Penyon area is gorgeous. The townsfolk were welcoming, and the banquet was really special. It was really cool. So the banquet was at an outdoor venue, and Woody Hoberg gave a speech. Woody Hoberg also alluded to the fact that maybe he doesn't need to retire the flag rocket.
Oh,
So we gotta put some pressure on. Might have to work with Art and see if we can form a community to get that rocket to fly again. I'm sure the astronaut's fairly busy, right? Chris continues hearing about how the Tories have so significantly supported the hobby and young people is very cool, and it's not often you get to hear an astronaut speak. I got some awesome pics of the launch and had a blast talking to new and old friends. We'll skip this one for now because I have Bryce's comment to read first. Neutronium says, I wasn't able to make it out this year, just too far, and I added a bunch of other relatively far away launches to my calendar this year. Yeah, he lives like 2 hours away from me, so I can definitely sympathize with it being too far away. My best LDR experience was probably just staying with a bunch of Rocketry friends for a week for LDRS 41 last year. The flying wasn't great, but the people were. Then there was seeing the Porthos and the Gates brothers sumo fly at the Salt Flats LDRS 39. Yep, awesome. My worst LDRS experience has to be my level 3 attempt at LDRS 40. Yes, his M1780 blew up. I got COVID at LDRS 40, so that's pretty bad experience for me as well. Josh Anderson says, LDRS was fun this year, a little wet, but overall not too shabby. My favorite part was definitely the echoes off of the hills around the launch site when big motors launched. Dude, yeah. When Tom Cohen flew the M4770, it was crazy. It was like being in a giant salad bowl. A huge fan of all the trees in the recovery area and pointing the rails directly at them with the wind blowing into the trees, but it still was a great, well-run launch. Shout out to the gray squirrel, whoever the hell that guy is. He's a wizard. Oh, yeah. There's just a dude there that'll, like, you can pay him to climb trees and get your rockets out. They call him the gray squirrel, and he
That's
texted
fun.
Josh introducing himself as the gray squirrel.
Whoa.
Huh.
UPS Rocketman says LDRS 42 was a blast. My dad and I rolled in Thursday around 1 p.m. and by 3 I had my level 3 on the pad. The rocket landed in a tree. Thankfully, Erg has someone named Gray Squirrel who is known for recovering rockets from trees. We were able to recover the rocket, get my paper signed to certify. The rest of the launch was great. Flew my golf tee a few times. Yeah, this makes me want to do a huge golf tee. I texted you guys about this. I think I have a picture of it somewhere. It's sick. Even had a solid flight on my 4-inch Nova upscale. Overall, the best of the 3 LDRS events I've been to. Thanks, URRG, for putting on an awesome event. Good to see you there, Braden. Hopefully, I see you guys at Midwest Power. Matt, you got to come to Midwest Power this year.
All right. When is that? I think Halloween.
Yeah, it's Halloween
Yep.
weekend.
Oh,
Max
yeah.
says, was it LDRS 42 only for Saturday and Sunday? Sunday was a bust, but on Saturday, I got a flight in on my 3-inch Punisher with a K700. That's a good flight if you're only going to get one flight in.
Yeah.
Featherweight tracker sent telemetry data showing it hit almost 14,000 feet. It also showed a prompt return to Earth. Oh, no. Unsure if my Easy
Uh-oh.
Mini became dislodged in 9-volt or something else, but main and droid clearly did not deploy. I'd like to pause here for a second. if I see anybody blame the 9-volt for this, you're getting banned. Landed over a mile away and could not find it, even with the coordinates probably buried a few feet under. Happily taking suggestions on what to build to fill the 3-inch Punisher size hole in my heart.
Another
Well,
one.
if I was going to make a recommendation, I would say another 3-inch
Another
Punisher.
3-inch Punisher. Yeah.
You got to have one of those on deck at all time.
Yeah. My only other suggestion would be Mac Performance 4-inch black fly. Similar length,
Yeah.
but kind of fills the same. It's not as awesome though. I mean, as a Punisher guy, I hate to even recommend that, but I do like it.
It does. Was it have 5 fins or 6?
Yeah, I like it because it has 5 fins. It's
Jonathan
quirky.
Says,
Whoa.
LDRS, says LDRS was a lot of fun and rainy. I managed to fly 6 rockets, one being my new 4-inch Punisher on the K560, which went crazy hard, by the way.
Really?
K560 rips, dude. Also, I saw 2 J145s fly, and I want one now. They were the best ones I've ever seen. It was like proper skid mark noises for a really long time.
Yeah, mine was pretty good.
Yeah, it was all right.
Okay. It would just seem better because there was trees making it echo. We were in the salt
That's
flats.
probably true. But a lot of people don't even realize that that's like what it is. It's J145 skid mark, but it's a C slot, right? Or is it offset core?
I think it's a moon burner. Yeah, I think it's offset core.
But it's a long burn skid mark.
Yeah,
motor,
it's so
and
sick.
it's
I almost
crazy
kept my
cool.
2-grain case just for that motor, but I'm like, they're just, I can't believe you saw that many work, because they kind of had some Kato problems even before CTIs were having Kato problems.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, the one I flew worked, so I was like, I don't know, I got to fly one finally, so maybe we'll just peace out on that.
Yeah, I kind of want one now, but I don't think I'll be able to find one very easily. Quentin Troll says, I was there. It was really cool to meet all the Rocketry people that fly on the other side of the country. There were still plenty of awesome projects despite the weather. Yeah, I shot like 300 clips. And I think of all of those, there was probably at least 275 high-power flights in there. And I didn't film everything. I missed a lot, to be honest. So, and that was with a full day being cut short. Like, there was a lot of flights. LDRS 42. It looks to be a haiku written by our friend Bryce Janis. Sasquatch was Sasquatched. Squashed. Yeah. So he flew CTI 08000 and the Sasquatch drag separated
I saw.
and turned into confetti. Bryce was bored. Now Bryce is bored. Round of applause for our friend Bryce Janis for now being on the Tripoli Board of Directors.
Golf clap.
And then he said Trey Tech was epic. I'll be honest, I was rolling in on 3 hours of sleep when I went to the first day, and I went to bed at like 9 o'clock, and then the next day, I just didn't go. I'll be honest. I wanted to go see Bryce's because he's doing the like.
What were the results on that?
Thing.
I haven't really investigated.
I didn't go, so I don't know if it's happened yet. I think it's still like in the planning phase.
Okay.
Also, I just want to put this out in the ether, but I really think, especially when Matt comes to LDRS since he's coming next year, I think we should try and set up doing a TRA Tech live anti-gravity group podcast.
That would be
Oh
How
my
sick would that
God.
be? What, Shane?
I just said, oh my God.
Oh, wouldn't it be sick though? We'd have to have a topic that's like
Yeah.
pertinent to it being a TRA Tech presentation.
Yeah.
And somebody already did clusters this year, so Plus, I don't really know that we need.
I forgot.
Yeah, I don't really know that we need to be like blasting our clustering techniques either, given the pyro stuff we talked about earlier with folks just playing with chemicals, not really having any background in safely mixing them. I mean, it's not a secret that we use copper thermite, but I don't know if we need to be recommending to a bunch of people to use copper thermite.
Yeah.
In fact, I know for a fact that we shouldn't.
Yeah.
If you want to use other things for clusters like BKN03, better call. Anyway, that's pretty much it. LDRS 42. It was a good time. Had a lot of good food. There was a Filipino food truck there. Amazing. We did a little branding deal with Lock Precision. Or I should say I did for my LDRS video, which means I don't want to give too much away, but Taylor needs to fix his mini mag.
He's not going to do it?
That's
Oh, he'll do it.
I would just say, I'm gonna fix it. It's gonna.
He
be...
wanted to get a new one,
Yeah.
and he can't.
No.
Well, cop out.
No, it's not
See?
that I necessarily. Yeah, I was thinking about getting a new one, but you
Mhm.
guys got a great deal on yours.
That's to you getting a new one.
Taylor, you can
Well,
just
now I
you
just
can
need
just-
Braden.
All right. Well, yeah.
Braden's gonna send me the parts to rebuild it. If Braden sends me the
Yeah,
parts,
I
then
should-
I'll rebuild it.
I should have the stuff kicking around.
Oh,
At any rate, I think that pretty much wraps it up for us. Does anybody else have anything to say?
No, not really. Matt needs a rocket. Oh, Nigel needs a sticker to sell.
No, he doesn't. He needs to sell the ones that he has.
Well, that's what I mean. He needs to sell
He does.
stickers.
There's only like 10 left here, so we've sold most of them. So by the
Nice.
time this goes up, it might be gone already. But go to rocketvlogs.square.site and see.
Are these still going to the Punisher Fund?
Yes.
nice.
Why do you ask?
I'm just confirming.
All right. I don't know what you take me for, but sure.
Making sure
Thanks.
Nigel
Also-
wasn't just paying for your pockets.
Do you think anybody in the Rocketry world is going to want these, Shane? Our stickers that say, please don't honk, I'm playing games
I
on
think
my phone.
like a lot of the Rocketry Discord people would be down with them because
Yeah, that's a
lot
like
of people.
30 and under meme. I almost feel too
Yeah.
old.
I was gonna say it's like a my age meme.
Yeah, it's a Gen Z thing.
Yeah, I feel a
Yeah.
little too old.
It's pretty hilarious, though.
It is
We've
fun.
got a
It
bunch
is.
of
It's
fun
pretty
good.
stickers that aren't rock,
I can't own one though.
but yeah. Yeah, because it's like too real. Taylor can't help himself but play Subway Surfers when he's at a red light. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a bunch of stickers coming in that Shane and I are now producing them. So if you want custom rocket stickers, send us an email, chsigndesign@gmail.com. And my name is Braden Carlson. You can find me right here on YouTube on this channel, Rocket Vlogs. Or if you're listening on a podcast platform of your choice, you can now, from the description, send us a text message. And we'll get the text message in the back end of our podcast stuff. So if you have a question, you can do that. Or you can send an email to contact@aggpod.com. Is it aggpodcast.com? I think it is. Contact@aggpodcast.com. It'll be one of those. Or you can join the Patreon for free to get in on the conversation. Yes, it is a paid service. With behind the scenes stuff is paid, but the podcast stuff is free. You can join for free. You get a behind the scenes post every once in a while in there. And I'm just kidding. Go take it.
Also, if you're listening through a podcast provider, why don't you like and describe for us?
Oh yeah.
'Cause I noticed.
Well, you can't
there's-
really like and describe on. I guess you do subscribe on some of them, but leave us a review.
You
But
can
yeah.
follow the podcast and leave us a review.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
that would be
review,
phenomenal.
review and describe.
Like and describe would be YouTube, but
Yeah.
that's most of the people who listen and or watch
Well,
are
I
on
meant
YouTube.
5 stars, and
Yeah.
describe.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name's
Just
Taylor.
Taylor.
You can find me on YouTube at the Rocket Channel.
13 is about 13.
There's gonna I hate saying that I'm gonna have a video out, but we're working on it. I just moved, and Braden was nice enough to send me the video from NSL, so I feel compelled to make it into a video.
Yeah, you've had a video coming soon for what, 5 months now?
I'm the guy that keeps saying big things coming, guys.
Big things coming. Yeah,
Yeah.
the SoundCloud rapper.
Or a guy with his car build.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
Yup. My name is Shane or Postart. You can find me on YouTube at Postart Propulsions.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the Matt Show.
And that's me. I'm Macho Matt, and you can find me right here on the AGG podcast. The end.
Roughly one time a month.
Actually, this is
Yay.
only 1 week in between his last appearance.
Oh
He's
my
gaining
God.
some frequency here.
Well,
And for that, we celebrate.
yeah, thank
Well,
you guys.
we
Thanks.
We are the Anti-Gravity
You
Group.
know what we should do before we get off here? Well, I mean, not right now, but if Matt, we should make Matt work on his rocket while he's on the podcast.
We gotta
That's
do.
fun.
We gotta do the Punisher
live stream?
telethon.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Oh
telethon.
yeah,
We could
Then
do
we
that.
can all work
maybe
on a
next week.
rocket.
I need to get
I
a
can-
Bob
I can-
Barker mic.
Like a wait. Oh, yeah, with a little
The long
on
The
skinny
ball.
one.
long stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta do the telethon and full 24-hour stream.
Call in
Dang.
now.
And
I'm down.
yeah,
And Macho Matt can
We gotta
finish his
build
3-inch
rockets.
Punisher.
yeah.
We cannot do this without your support.
And Postart build his 5-inch Punisher.
Yeah.
He's losing
That'd be
steam. We need some more donations so we can go buy him an energy drink.
Think about it, Matt. If you build this rocket, that's another L850 for the Punisher.
Oh wow!
All right, well, folks, we are the Anti-Gravity Group. This is the Anti-Gravity Group podcast. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you next week.